ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Overlord. But before we get into that, I'm sorry if I'm sounding a bit weird talking through my nose. I've been feeling sick for the past few days. It's getting a bit better, but I'm still not 100%, so that's why I'm sounding the way I am currently. Now, about this episode from Overlord, it felt more like a preparation episode, mainly for things to come, which it was still pretty fun. It didn't have a lot of action, had something I love in anime, seeing shocked faces so much from the dwarves, but it definitely felt like an adventure in Moria. Last episode and this episode, so many Lord of the Rings vibes. And I gotta say, I'm really starting to like Gondo with each episode more and more. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now we finally see the dwarf side when they were under siege from those creatures. They barricade inside their last remaining city. It's definitely Moria for there. They were barricading inside Moria, and they get a message that an undead appeared. Now they were even considering abandoning the city. They were losing the fight against the creature, which I'm still very interested who is controlling this creature. We find out even in this episode their tribes united against this against not with this lord they had. I forgot his name, Ryuro. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name. Or is somebody else controlling those creatures? Or they did it just came along with them naturally, or did somebody manipulate the creatures to force them against the dwarves? Hopefully we're gonna find out in the next few episodes. Now this is where the negotiations start, or more like a pressure negotiation because the dwarves were between a rock and a hard place, to say the least. They had a creature and also this very powerful undead that was offering help to them. So will you accept this help? Now the general asked for help during that situation, but said for the next thing, for actual proper negotiations, he needs to talk with the Regency Council, the ones that are leading the dwarves. And I like how Ainz said it there. Don't waste time on talks. While it's okay, sometimes talks and politicians just waste way too much. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that was mainly what he said. So don't rush, but also don't take too long, basically, there. Now, which I liked quite a lot, those creatures got obliterated by Ainz or by two Death Knights when they opened the gates. They were destroyed, their cut left and right, just mowing them down. That felt so good. But yeah, the animation this episode wasn't that good, if I'm being honest, especially the CGI on the creatures, the Death Knights. Now, Ainz lost those two Death Knights because Yoz, one of the leaders of the creatures that were attacking, had some intelligence to him. He destroyed the bridge, so the Death Knights fell into that chasm. This causes Ainz to assume that there might be somebody powerful enough, or even a player, to be able to take care of two Death Knights. But it's just a misunderstanding, honestly. They just use the environment, so to say. Which I feel like Ainz always has this expectation he's gonna meet a player, so every time something happens out of his expectations or something catches him by surprise, he assumes there's always somebody powerful there until he sees the reality. I'm curious what his reaction is gonna be when he finds out that probably there's no player, or could there be a player behind the creatures? I don't know. I'm leaning towards not being a player manipulating the creatures, and also very curious with those dragons, which we're gonna talk a bit more about those. Now we finally have the Regency Council meeting Ainz, and I like them, especially after the meeting. We'll get to that. Now the negotiations start. Ainz says he's gonna be able to offer them food, drinks for trade in exchange for ores and equipment. So that was just to establish friendly relationship and trading between the two nations. But he also wants something more, and he's willing to pay up front for that, as even reclaiming their capital, fight against it, even the frost dragon, because there's a frost dragon there, and these 3 dangerous areas they need to get past. Yes, very dangerous. Now, what he wants in exchange, besides the trading and friendly relationships, are all the runesmiths to come to the sorcerer kingdom. Now, I gotta give credit to the dwarves, the Regency Council. They wanted to deliberate. One even asked, do you want to enslave them? And Heinz was like, why would I want to enslave people of a country? I want friendly relationship. Yeah, that was a yeah. But after that, they finally talk amongst themselves, and my favorite moment in the entire episode was like, they're taking this all too good when they were talking to the sir, but you can feel the tension that was in that room, especially from the dwarves. As soon as Heinz left the room, it's like the biggest dump. They shut their they finally could breathe. What is that monster? He's so powerful. I was scared. Poor doors, they barely held it in for the meeting. Scared shitless over there. Understandable, but that was my favorite moment from the episode. After some bickering back and forth, they finally accept the terms, but they have a condition, which I gotta give them credit. They wanted from time to time to check on the runesmith to make sure they're in good condition, which Heinz agrees. So we have a relationship starting between the dwarves and the sorcerer kingdom. Now, this is where the runesmiths are getting ready, but they're like drinking way too much. They wanted more drinks from Gondo. And this is where Shalti is awesome. I love her reactions, how she interacts with everybody. Heinz wanted to say something to the runesmiths, quiet them down a bit, but Shaltir jumped the gun to say silence over. They instantly calmed down the room, and with the holy grail of drinks over them there. This is where Heinz finally explains everything he wants to do with the rune crafting, the runesmith to them, even shows them this very special rune crafted sword with 20 runes, which seemed beyond impossible even for the dwarves. He still got a bit nostalgic by who made that sword. They wanted to get close in on it. They were enthralled by it, amazed, and Shelter instantly got mad. Stay away. She's very protective of mines. I like Shelter quite a lot, even more with each episode. Now, that sword had 20 runes, and we find out even the king's weapon for the doors only had 6. So yeah, it's gonna be a long way to revive this lost technology, lost craft, however you wanna call it. But this is what Heinz wants to do, basically revive rune crafting. So telling the the runesmith, I need your strength. So he basically won them over for them to do what they love, what they also felt abandoned by the country, because the doors have let go of runecrafting in favor of magic. So yeah, that kind of touched all the right strings, so to say, for the runesmith. They saw something amazing that they can strive for, also being able to still perform their craft somewhere where it would be appreciated. And it also mattered quite a lot for Gondo. I wasn't expecting him to cry, seeing how important it is for him, despite the fact that he doesn't have the talent for it, especially with the history of his family. But seeing that the country did in fact given up completely on runecrafting, since they were willing to send them away to a foreign country, a country led by a monster that is able to strike fear in their hearts, they were willing to make that trade, give up their own people, and that wouldn't have been possible if they held any regard for runecrafting. And this is where Heinz reassures Gondo that he hasn't given up on it and wants to revive it, which mattered quite a lot for Gondo, and I gotta give credit to both of them in that situation. Now Gondo also makes up his mind after that he's gonna be the guide for the capital. and has some other plans also, say whispering to Ainz. There's also a rune crafting book in the capital, in the treasury over there. We could get that one also, that's why I'm coming. So you want me to help you with robbery? Well, yeah, technically, sure, it can be very useful for us. Yeah, I might get a sudden case of blindness when you get near the treasure. So yeah, of course they're gonna get the book, but I like you, Gondo. I really like you quite a lot. And I really feel like Ainz and Gondo are gonna get along very, very well. Now this is where Shaltier was great again. She started taking notes when Ainz was still trying to teach her about how to handle certain situations, especially in a fight, a conflict, and things like you're currently having to deal with. Saying he still thinks that somebody powerful must have taken out those Death Knights. So I was expecting him to make the connections that he saw the bridge was cut off, maybe the Death Knight just fell down there, but he's probably being very cautious, or thinking about the worst case scenario, or wanting maybe for players to actually be there out of this loneliness that he still has to deal with, despite with everybody being there for him. He still doesn't have somebody equal to him that he can share his time with, which is something that weighs on him very heavily. Let's not forget all of that. It's fun, all he's overpowered and everything, but he's still very lonely in this world. Now while he was giving pointers to Shaltier, she started taking notes over there. I'm gonna instantly fight all of them at full power. No, Shaltier, no. Take your time, test the strengths of your enemy. They want to do the same things. Stay calm, keep thinking, taking notes over there. Now, while he was talking with Shaltier, Aura discovered something while smelling. I don't know what Aura discovered. Maybe about the Death Knights, or maybe the creature, I don't know. But wanted to interrupt Ainz. I was like, not yet. And after that, Aura didn't say anything. So we still don't know what exactly was discovered there. Now they finally start moving towards the capital, easily passing by those dangerous areas. Gondo was like, this is very dangerous. If you labyrinth over here, poison chasm, just fly over. Just protect with magic, just have a gun. Yeah, those were not really dangerous areas for Ainz over there. Now they have two options: either the creatures submit or they die. So I'm gonna assume they're probably gonna get obliterated. Who knows? Aura and Shaltier are gonna take care of the creatures, and Ainz is gonna go versus the dragon. This was pretty much the episode, which, like I said, was more of a preparation for things to come, setting up things also. I'm very excited for next episode, and again, I'm really sorry if I sound out of breath talking through my nose. I'm really not feeling that well, but I still wanted to give my thoughts on this episode. And yeah, I'm curious what you guys thought about this episode. What was your favorite moment from the episode? And what do you think of Gondo so far? He's one of the newest characters. So let me know down in the comments below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Helps me quite a lot. And you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Overlord. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.